What up? This is Robert Ory.
Or three-pointer. Buries it.
You might know me as Big Shot Bob.
To Ory for three. Oh, unbelievable. This guy is off the charts.
What's going on, Big Shot Bob?
Robert Ory from downtown.
What is going on, Big Shot Bob?
Do we really have to go there?
Oh, we are. I can feel it in the air, man. I can feel it in the air. Before we get there, it is the Big Shot Bob podcast. That is B-Dog, Brandon Harper. My name's Rob Jenners. That, of course, is Alabama alumni, seventh-time NBA champion, Robert Ory. Oh, goodness. So you want to start there? We can start there.
Let's
go for it.
Let's just start there. You know, the funny part, I'm sitting there, I'm like, all right, Dabo, let's go. Get this win. Then after the second quarter, I'm like, hold on.
Wait a minute. If you lose,
can't win this game.
I might not make it.
Yeah, I'm rooting for Dabo, and all of a sudden I had to switch gears halfway through. I'm like, no, you need to lose this game. So I hate to root against Dabo, but I was rooting against him. And then I'm sitting there like, okay, Georgia, I don't want Texas to win it when they first year in it, but do I sacrifice Alabama for Georgia? I said, yeah, I'm going to have to sacrifice Alabama for Georgia because I didn't want Texas coming in there and winning the SEC
their first year. You would never hear the end of it.
Never
hear the end of it.
I told you we were back. Horns up.
Horns up, man. Horns up. Matthew McConaughey would be insufferable. That's what he would be.
So it was a rough weekend.
Yeah, I can imagine. So.
Yeah,
I'm going to be honest with you. I did not see us. It was hard for me to envision a scenario where they didn't put Alabama in, just because of the brand. You know what I mean? And Milroe, I mean, he was up and down this year, but when he was on, he was electric. The problem was he was just very hit and miss this year.
Yeah,
but
the thing about me is they don't deserve to be in it. You know, I can understand if they would have lost. 3-game loss. If you lost to. You lost to Tennessee, which I'm good with that because you was in Tennessee. If you lost to Ole Miss and Georgia, I'd been fine. But you lost to the Nerds, Vanderbilt, and you lost to OU. And so, to me, the committee is probably like, I can't put you in there with 3 losses, Bama. You good. I can't put you in there because of those 2 losses. Now, if you'd have lost to someone else, I've been fine with that. And then you think about all these teams now talking, well, the strength of schedule. And I'm thinking Alabama's strength of schedule. You lost in conference. It had nothing to do with the strength of your schedules in conference. So all these ADs now think about playing cupcakes like Notre Dame, Indiana, Penn State, all these schools playing these cupcake teams to make themselves look dominant. It's just gonna be a trend now, I think. So, but
I think Alabama, in a sense, it was damned if they do, damned if they don't, because let's say they did lose they couldn't have lost 2 of those big games. They could have only lost 1 of them. Because let's say you would have lost to Georgia, right? You couldn't have lost to Georgia, South Carolina, and whoever else they played in the conference, because eventually what will then be said about you is that as Alabama, you lost to teams that you don't have any big wins on your resume. So, and then on the flip side, you lose 3 games and you lost to Tennessee, we'll take them out. But the 2 games you lost, like you said, it was to an Oklahoma team who is completely down. And you lose to a Vanderbilt team who you ain't lost to in 60 years. So my frustration with Bama is do your job. Exactly. Saban was talking about the non-conference scheduling and things of that nature, but he may be right if you would have lost games to teams that were not in your conference.
Yeah.
You lost to teams in your conference.
Yeah.
Exactly. You don't do that.
And for me too, it's hard for me to get on board with the strength of schedule argument, because it's very clear that if you lose a bad game early, that's much better than losing a close game late. Hello, Miami Hurricanes, who have 2 losses, but lost by like a combined total of 9 points. Now, you lost to Tech, you lost to Syracuse. Both were unranked. I get it.
Yeah.
But Notre Dame lost to Northern Illinois in the second week of the season. Alabama lost to Vanderbilt. Like, you can look at some of these losses were dreadful. Georgia Tech took Georgia to 8 overtimes. That's not a horrible loss for the Canes. Syracuse had the number 1 offense in the country most of the season. That's not a horrible loss. But they were left out without any consideration, and 3-loss SMU gets in, who, I mean, their schedule was an ACC schedule, but the minute they had to play like a hardcore heads-up ACC team like Clemson, they got their ass whooped. So you can make so many wild arguments for that bottom grouping. Yeah. It's just it's an impossible decision, but I have a hard time. And I'm going to play you some audio from Cam Newton here. I have a hard time always getting on board with Notre Dame in this conversation.
I might as well just keep it a buck with this one. Hey, nobody wants to see Notre Dame in there either, too, bro. Notre Dame is college football's Dallas Cowboys. Like, nobody wants to see them. Do they have a legacy organization and program? Absolutely. Rudy. Yeah, that's about the last time like we see these type of things. There's no such thing as a Cinderella story in college football. Every time you try to root for the underdog, they get smashed.
He's not wrong. He's totally not wrong. Cam Newton on First Take, by the way, is a lot of fun. But
I love Cam Newton.
I do too. I like Cam Newton, the personality, way more than I like Cam Newton, the football player.
I would love to. He's just did the show I did, so I would love to know his experience on that about that because he just did.
Oh, he did World's Toughest Test?
World's Toughest Challenge, yeah.
Oh,
and so he was in it. But they had a lot of water events. But, anyway, I was in the fucking cold, which is out of horse out of all the 3 episodes so for the 3 seasons. But, yeah, I totally agree with Cam. It's like when you look at Notre Dame, and I can always go back to the year they had the scandal with the one football player where he got catfished and they made
Manti Te'o. Yeah,
they made it to the championship and then they got beat by 40 by Alabama.
They got boat raced by Bama in that game.
Like Notre Dame so many times is like, no, you make them play someone other than USC. I'm like, if you think about Notre Dame's schedule, who do they play outside of USC?
Oh, no, I just had it open. Let me see if I can find it because I went to look to see when was their loss to Northern Illinois. Because
they need to play
game of the season.
It was the second game of the year, I think. Yeah,
they need to be playing a Big Ten schedule.
Mm-hmm.
Big time. All right, here's who they played this year. Ready?
Okay.
They won their first game of the season against Texas A&M. That's not a bad win. That's actually pretty good. They lost to Northern Illinois. Then they beat Purdue 66-7. They played Miami of Ohio, Louisville, who was down this year. Stanford sucks. Georgia Tech was hit and miss all year. Navy stinks. Florida State is dreadful. Virginia stinks. The only signature win they have is when they beat Army. And they cooked Army 49-14. They cooked Army. And then they beat USC, and USC just had an okay year.
Yeah, and to me, the Army team they had a good schedule, but they didn't play anybody.
They didn't play. So as soon as Army had to play somebody, they got cooked.
That's what I'm saying. So if you beating the Sisters of the Poor over here, and then you play another team that's beating the Brothers of the Poor, of course you're gonna beat them, and it makes them look like, oh, look, they got like 18-1 or whatever the record was, and it makes you look that much better. But Notre Dame their school is in the ACC when it comes to basketball, right?
Correct, but they have no conference affiliation for football. Yeah,
that is the weirdest. I know, and
somehow though this is
money,
and that's just it. It's all about money for Notre Dame. Yeah. And I think so much of it comes from the NBC deal and all the stuff that they get. They get this wild-ass special treatment as Notre Dame. And I am with you. Pick a conference. Get in a freaking conference and play a conference schedule. Here's the thing. If you don't, you're not in the playoff conversation.
Exactly.
I don't care how good you are, and I don't care your legacy. I don't give a shit about how much money you have. Pick a conference, win a conference. And if you can't do that, don't bitch and moan when you get left out because, like Cam said, every year you want to pull for him. You're like, oh, look, Notre Dame's in there. Let's see if they do something. And they get destroyed.
But this is how smart NCAA committee is. Let's put the 2 weakest teams in this, make them play each other.
Yeah,
so
that's actually true. Yeah,
that's like Indiana and Notre Dame play each other. I'm like, no, you should have took Tennessee, made them play like Notre Dame, and flip flopped them because to me the 2 weakest teams in this are playing each other off the bat. If you want to eat at the big dog table, make them play one of those big dogs and not have our big dogs knock each other out before they get to you guys.
Okay.
Yeah, They're going to have to, because I think in a couple of years they're going to expand this thing again. I think they're going to go to 16. But every time you expand, you're bringing about new problems because you're going to have new teams in here that you're eventually going to realize don't deserve to be there. But this is a money thing. You know, the more they expand, the more money they bring in, the more brands they bring in, the more opportunity you have for there to also be some upsets, because there are going to be some upsets, because when you let teams in a 1-game playoff for it all, anything can happen on that day in that game. So that's what's going to happen. But they're going to start looking at this schedule stuff as well as they start to expand, because you're going to have teams that say, you know what? We used to want to put Alabama on our schedule, or we used to want to put Georgia on our schedule, or some other tough team for our non-conference. Yeah, we're not doing that no more.
No. Because strength of schedule is an illusion. It really is. And it just showed you this year that it almost doesn't count. So let me give you this one. I think we're gonna see some people exposed a little bit on how good they actually are. I don't really know how good Arizona State actually is.
Yeah.
Scadaboo's fun to watch as a running back. He is a blast, and he is a force to be reckoned with. But Arizona State's going to get the winner of Texas and Clemson in the Peach Bowl here in Atlanta. That's going to be like, okay, reality check 101 for Arizona State. Like, this is going to be the test of how good, first test, by the way, for me, of how good of a football team you actually are.
Yeah.
Because you're going to get somebody coming in angry and swinging. Either way, you're going to get Dabo, who snuck in, or you're going to get Texas, who's pissed that they didn't beat Georgia in overtime. And then you got, Oregon's going to have to face the winner of Ohio State and Tennessee.
Yeah.
So
I think Ohio State should have been number 7 and Notre Dame should have been number 8.
Yeah.
That way you could flip-flop that with Ohio State. And now you got to think about Ohio State and Tennessee is so much better than Notre Dame. But it is. It is what it is.
It is what it is. But
I have this question for you guys.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. Since you ain't playing for the big dog, for the big dance, for the big trophy, would you play in your bowl game if you're a top player?
Are you asking if I was like a draft prospect?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Would I play in my bowl game?
Let's say, I don't know if Milroe leaving or coming back. Let's say if you Milroe.
Nah, he leaving.
Yeah, that's okay. Milroe, would you play in that Michigan game?
Let's see. Is he a projected first-round pick?
Yes.
Yeah, he is.
Okay. I don't know. I think it just depends on where I believe I'll fall. Mm-hmm. Am I a top 10 pick? Am I a top 15 pick? Is it is somehow, some way I could use this game to increase my draft stock? Maybe not.
Yeah, my answer is no.
My answer is no, because I ain't playing for shit.
Well, that's it.
Yeah.
Here, you ready? What happens? What happens if you go out and you play in your bowl game? You blow out your knee. Trying to win a bowl game doesn't mean a damn thing to you. Ultimately, now, if you're in the college football playoff, yes, you're back. You play in the game. You try to win a national championship, 100%. If you're not in the 12-team bracket, if I'm Cam Ward, I never put on a Miami jersey again, and it's not a shot at Miami. I hope he had a great experience as a Cane. I never put a Miami jersey on again. I'm going to the draft. I'm gonna hurt my ankle in the Pop-Tarts Bowl? F you.
What is a Pop-Tart
What are you
bowl
talking about? What are you talking about? For what purpose? There's nothing there. If I'm Jalen Milroe and I have first-round draft stock on the line, I'm not playing.
Yeah, I'm not playing either. And I think plus you think about it's only benefiting the school. The school gonna get that paycheck. I ain't getting that paycheck.
You can get nothing. You're getting your NIL money. Now, if there's NIL money attached to you playing in a bowl game or something, then that's different, because at least there's something in it for you. But I have no clue how these NIL deals are structured. I don't know what counts, what doesn't. You know what I mean? Like, if you sign an NIL deal, you just get paid up front?
Yeah, you do now.
Is that how it works? I'm honestly asking because I don't know.
I don't know, because contractually it may be different depending on the brand.
Yeah.
Okay, but like, so if you got out of the sake of argument, Cam Ward got what, like $1.5 million to play at Miami. And by the way, my other podcast I manage is a Hurricanes podcast. That's why I'm using Miami as a point of reference, because it's the one team I probably know the most about right now besides Georgia. If you're Cam Ward, you got $1.5 million, and you're not in the college football playoff. Is there something in your contract or your NIL deal that says you got to play in the bowl game, or can you just walk? Because you got paid.
You can just walk.
Yeah, you got paid already, right?
Yeah.
Sorry.
I'm guarantee you. You do like that guy from Vegas. After 3 games, I ain't got my money. Deuces. So, but that's a smaller school and a smaller brand. But I think Miami, he got his money early, so it was like, okay, now
Okay, bye.
it's about me. It's a time to be selfish.
Yeah,
It's a time
right. If
as a player to be
Jalen
selfish.
Milroe got broke off, he does not have to come back to play in.
Yeah.
What are they playing in? I don't even know where they're playing.
I don't know
They're
where they're
playing
playing.
Michigan.
They're playing Michigan. I don't know in the San Diego County Credit Union Poinsettia Bowl or something.
But I will say this.
This week's game is it a bowl game?
It's a bowl game.
It's back every year.
I'll say that it also is in best interest of those guys and the client that if there are certain games, especially at the end of the season, that they probably don't have to play in because they're projected first round picks or top 10 picks or even top 5 picks, it probably behooves them probably not to play because you can take those brands with you to the NFL. It is in their best interest that you probably do remain healthy as much as you possibly can and not play a certain game that you don't have to play. You know what I'm saying?
But if I'm a Syracuse booster and I put in money to make sure Kyle McCord got paid this year and he bows out when it's time to win a bowl game, how do I feel?
Yeah.
Do you have that? But see, that's where the contractual stuff comes into place.
I guess
Do you
so.
have that in the contract?
And if it isn't, I get it. Yeah, he's not going to play.
But what you gonna do if you breach the contract? Really? Like if I'm supposed to play,
sue
I'm
a
like,
college kid over? I gave you 12 games, I gave you 13 games, whatever the hell I gave you.
yeah,
Or they could sue him, or they could just drop him.
yeah.
I don't know. It's a weird mess, but I'm enjoying the 12-team playoff way more than I
as
thought
a
I would.
coach though. As a coach, and I'm like, let's say I'm Miami Hurricanes coach. I'm like, Cam, scratch. I'm not doing that to you as a player because your future is way brighter than just one game.
But they won't.
I mean?
They won't do that, and they can't do that. It's
it was
his
one.
decision.
I can't remember. It was one coach I remember talked about that. He says, "I'm not letting him play. It's no point." You know. So I think I remember who it was.
I think you're right because I remember
coach.
hearing that too, but I don't remember who it was. But yeah, I mean, I get it. Good for the coach.
Yeah.
Most coaches with their boosters and their NIL boards and stuff nowadays can't do that shit.
Yeah.
If he wants to play, let him play. It's his decision. And if it was ultimately my decision, no thanks. I'm good.
Okay, so switching subjects. So I'll just think about this before I forget it. You know,
No, man.
my mom had the best time at that Lakers.
I was going to ask
Hawks
you.
game on Friday night.
So like, talk
But
to me.
this is why she said she had a great time. The seats were good, but the best part, she said, baby, it was weird because it was different from going to a Laker game at a Lakers field. I was like, yeah, Mom, it's different. She said, they got the fighting. I'm like, who got the fighting? The teams? I said, I watched it. She said, no, there was some people in line and they was like talking the Hawks are better, the Lakers are better. The next thing you know, they got the fighting. She's like, I just sat there and watched. I said, Mom, you can't be
Welcome to
around
Atlanta, Mama.
when a fight is happening. You can't be around it. I was like, what if it spills over towards you? She's like, no, I just stuck my head around the corner. I'm like,
Oh, good.
I love my mama.
I'll tell you, man. I don't need Mama Ori getting in a scrap down at State
I
Farm.
know it,
man.
right?
Got her mugshot on TMZ. She get let out in cuffs. I whipped his ass.
Yeah, the Laker game, when the Lakers come to town, it's always an event.
It is. It is. But I'm surprised people with the fans were fighting because that doesn't usually come off like a fan fight. And then, like when the Knicks are here, Knicks fans are very loud.
Yeah.
Very, very loud. So, like, I get that. You're probably going to scrap a little bit with those fans. But I don't know, like Lakers fans, man. I don't know.
Well, what it is that most Knick fans are Knick fans.
Oh,
like they're hardcore Knick fans.
I know.
With Laker fans, a lot of Laker fans right now are LeBron fans. They were not always Laker fans. Now, a lot of them are, but a lot of them are LeBron fans. So somebody can say somebody Lakers, somebody can say somebody LeBron, and that sets somebody off. So it might not even be about the team as much as it is about the player. And so it don't take much.
Yeah.
I always find that crazy when people get so irate about talking about a player. I'm like, it's just my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, right. And it's ultimately none of it matters. It's just talk. All right, so I watched most of the Friday night game. Ended in a wild manner. Trey with the I was the one that wanted a walk-off three, but the three with like 7 seconds left on the clock or something. Hawks ended up winning their 6th straight. Lakers on a little bit of a skid. It was 3-7 in the last 10 games, I think.
They're awful on the road.
Yeah, I mean, just
Oh, that's what I've been saying.
yeah. I was surprised.
They awful at home now too.
Yeah, well,
Or they just flat out awful.
yeah, I was going to say, now you got problems. You can't be awful at home and on the road. So then, by the way, the Hawks, win. I think was it their sixth or seventh game in a row?
That was the sixth. That was the sixth in a row.
And then they came out and got cooked, just cooked by the Nuggets on Sunday.
By the Nuggets,
Nuggets hung 141 on them in Atlanta.
Damn.
Jokic had 48 and 14 on the heels of a 56 and 16 against Washington the night before.
Yeah.
So in 24 hours, Jokic scored 104 points, 30 boards, and 16 assists in 24 hours.
I guarantee you that 56 feels bad because you lost to the Wizards.
You lost to the Wizards. The Wizards had lost 17 in a row, and that broke the streak. Yeah.
Hey, but you know what though? That's the best game I ever seen. The guy who got knocked out by
Jordan Poole.
Jordan Poole.
Yeah.
I had to look at it like 3 or 4 times because I thought it had been sped up because the way he was playing, it was like, is this sped up? Let me slow this down. He was like on one that night. He was moving so quick, step back jumpers, knocking Jays down. We hit like 9 threes in that game. It was that. See, that's probably why the Wizards was like, see, this is why we got you. But he don't play like that. We get 1 out of 30 games like that from him.
He need Draymond to roll into town, smack him in the face, and fire him up again or something. Yeah. Get him going. But I've seen a lot of that from Jordan Poole.
Yeah.
We watched him do that to the Hawks one night, up close and personal, and I was just like, God bless. Like we're letting this man just score at will. He has those nights. Hawks take a lot of bad shots, man. As a team, and I don't know. Like, I mean, I try to watch as much as I can, but against the Lakers, it just seemed like they weren't even setting up. They were just running down the floor and throwing up the first thing they saw a lot of times, and some of it fell and some of it didn't. But they take a lot of bad shots.
Here's the thing: the Lakers. One, I guess, highlight I will say is that they shot well overall from the field, and they shot well from three. They had that going for them, but defensively, my goodness, they are piss poor defensively.
Yes, they are.
And just, I think LeBron had a 39 point triple double.
Something like that.
AD had a 38 point double double, and Dalton Connect played pretty well and things of that nature, but they just don't play together. Their defense, their collective defense as a whole is bad. And because they lean so heavily on LeBron, we see this time and time again, a year in and year out. When he's off the floor, there is no playmaker. There is nobody who can run the offense.
Or offensively. Or both.
Offensively, one.
Yeah.
Like when LeBron goes to the bench, there is no playmaker. There's nobody that sets the offense up. When LeBron goes to the bench, that's the perfect time for a team to make a run. The perfect time. If you want to put the Lakers in a hole, do it when LeBron is on the bench. But they don't have another guy. We've been talking about this for the last few years. They don't have another guy that they can lean on to take that responsibility away from LeBron. And I know no team out there is going to help them out to try to bring that in. But we've been saying this year in and year out, and I'm going to say it again. They need another ball handler. They need another guy who can take over a game.
Yeah, it's already out there. Brandon Ingram.
No, here's the thing with me with that.
It's already out in the world.
It's like, when LeBron's in the game, you know what it is? It's not the fact that they need a playmaker. It's just the fact motherfuckers think they can take shots they don't need to take instead of just going to the post and going to AD. And I think a lot of that falls on AD because it always AD's like, okay, you want to pick and roll? Do. Don't set a fucking pick and roll. Do like you do sometime when you break a play, just go to the fucking block. And that's your playmaker because AD in the block is a playmaker because now if you don't guard me, I'm getting 2 points. Or if you double team me, then I'm kicking you swing. A lot of times this is the best thing I ever saw D-Lo do the other night outside of, defense he did. It was swung to him. He swung it really quick. Everybody now in the Lakers, when you swing it, they look for a three. You know that dude in the corner or the next pass over is open, but should I take my shot? It shouldn't be a thought process. It should be bam, bam. And these guys don't do that because everybody in the league now is trying to fucking score. I'm like, dude, help your teammate out, man. It's like, stop being selfish in this game because if we win, we all win. It's just not I won, you didn't win. So That's my biggest problem with the Lakers. That's not my biggest, but this is the biggest problem I have with Lakers. When they get up on someone, they start skinning and grinning and acting like they up 30 with 2 seconds left to go in the game. They have no killer instinct. They want to laugh and joke too damn much for me. It's like, no, when you up, you don't talk to no fucking other players. You beat their ass. You beat them. And then there's like a minute left to go and you up 15, then you talk to them. You don't talk to nobody during a damn game. And I know that's old school thought process, but hell, I was on a lot of teams that won a lot of fucking games playing that way.
Good for you.
It's. I don't know what else to say. Like I said, and I'm gonna continue on just like I saw them. They not gonna stress me out.
No, they're gonna go get Brandon Ingram and everything's gonna be okay.
No, the heck they ain't either.
No, they are. Quote: Ingram's first NBA franchise is indeed whispered often as scouts as a potential destination for his next trade. I haven't been given any indication that the Lakers are looking to pursue him right now, but all credible signals circulating say the Lakers suggest that LA is looking to fortify its front court and add perimeter defense to assist LeBron and Anthony Davis. Isn't that what you just said? Is that what you just said they need? They need Brandon Ingram.
Here's the thing about Brandon Ingram.
He's always hurt.
And you're going to have to pay him.
And also, I don't think there's any movement on him right now. So this is like wild speculation, which I find hilarious. Like, we just found a player that we think would fit this idea, and we're going to go ahead and run with it.
Yeah. I don't think that fits.
No, it doesn't. I don't think it does either. But man, you wanted to see the story that's all over the place this week. Oh, Brandon Ingram to LA.
Because you put, like, the thing is, you're putting Brandon Ingram, who you trading away, LeBron, because they play the same position, they do the same thing. It's just one guy's a little bit younger. And so you can't, people always want to just throw pieces out that they have to fit.
No.
And my whole thing is until you get LeBron to get off the ball, go down the court, and allow someone else to playmate, because LeBron to me is not a playmaker. I know you think he is, B, but to me, he doesn't. If he's going downhill fast, but when he's caught at the top and it's like, okay, he's trying to beat someone one-on-one, he can't beat nobody one-on-one anymore. So now his best bet, the most assists LeBron gets is when he grabs the rebound and he's going 100 miles down the floor and then he kicks it to somebody because everybody gets to their spots. That's when he gets his most assists. And for me, that you can't have that. D-Lo and AR, to me, are the better playmakers coming off that screen and roll. LeBron, of course, you got some games where you come off the pick and roll, you throw the lob to AD. But for the most part, the one-on-one stuff with LeBron, to me, has to stop because he cannot beat anybody one-on-one. Okay, consistently, he cannot. But every once in a while, he can.
Okay. Can I play my favorite piece of audio of the week?
Yes, I love when you play audio.
Mike Brown. Who
we love Mike Brown.
I love Mike Brown. And Mike Brown's post-game pressers have become like destination watch for me now. Like every time I see the Kings post, Mike Brown speaks out of tonight's game, I'm like, yay! What's he going to give us? I promise you, I did not edit this, okay? I'm putting it out in advance. I did not try to manufacture this in any way. Mike Brown, post-game, after the Kings win the other night.
We just need to be methodical by stacking or playing the right way, possession after 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 possession.
No way that's him.
After possession.
It is.
After possession. After possession. After possession.
It goes on forever.
After possession. 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 You guys got what I'm saying, right?
40 seconds. Mike Brown doing that in front of the media. Look, you're trying.
I just lost respect to me as a coach, man. Come on, man.
You're trying to make a point. I get it, but like, come on.
That's not your team. You should be doing that to your players, not to the media.
Those media people are just trying to ask a question and go home. They got dinner on the table, bro. Like, what are you doing?
I'm trying to beat this traffic, man.
What are you talking about? Mike's still doing after possession after possession. They won 48 games in 22-23. They won 46 last year. They feel like they're in a weird spot. Overall, the Kings' numbers, we talked about it a little bit. The numbers aren't awful. They're the 6th offense in the league, 13th defense, 10th overall. But they're only like 12 and 13. They're behind the Spurs right now for the 12th spot in the West. I just like they're just stuck in this weird like we're not terrible, but we're not good. And we're a 500 team, but in the West that drops you way back in the pack.
So I have to ask you guys this, because you think about this, 2 seasons ago they had the #1 record in the West, right?
I think it was 2 seasons ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
2 or 3 seasons.
So
yeah.
if you're an owner and all of a sudden your team starts going south like this, do you make a trade or do you make a coaching change?
You might need to probably make a coaching change.
Yeah.
Because I think making a coaching change is a lot easier than making a trade, because who do you trade and then what are you getting back that's going to keep you competitive or keep you hovering around being competitive and not completely just drop you off? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Here's my question, and I don't know the answer to this. I'm going to answer your question with a question, which we're not supposed to do. How much of the roster from the year that they had a better record is still in place? Is it largely the same group of guys?
The only person they lost was, what's the guy, Harrison Barnes. But you added DeMar DeRozan. I know Harrison Barnes is a better three-point shooter than DeMar DeRozan, but you still got your core.
So for the most part, since the last 2 years, whatever it was, more or less most of the pieces are the same.
You got the same.
Then I feel like you need to make a coaching change.
Yeah, because you still got Malik Monk. You just re-signed Malik Monk. You got Sabonis.
You still got Fox. You still got Sabonis.
You got Fox.
Yeah.
And then you got, what's that guy, Kevin? I can't ever pronounce his name.
I know
look like Herter.
Yeah.
And then what's the young guy that hit all the threes? Keegan Murray.
Yeah.
You still think about it. You have your starting 5 back, except you changed out Harrison Barnes. And it's like, it's something going on from me coaching you to you going to the court and playing hard. I'm like, did you get figured out as a coach? But Mike Brown has a tendency to do this though. That first year as a coach, you play, you coach well, the team play well. Think about it. His first year as a coach, did he take the Browns?
You're talking about the Cavs, yeah.
Cavs to the finals?
I think
his first year.
Was it his first year?
First, yes.
Okay.
So his first years are always good, and then
he had LeBron too.
Yeah, it tends to help.
But that game, that team was garbage though.
But isn't that the trap of every head coach, right? Like the first year, you always see that a lot. Was it Ime's first year in Boston, and you get guys to listen to a new voice.
Yeah,
I think a lot more in their first year and maybe respond to it. It's always years 2 and 3 and 4 that you go, are they still listening to this guy, or has it become background noise? And right now to the Kings, I feel like the way they're playing now, like you said, there's no explosiveness to that offense. It's very lackluster. It's not bad, but it's not good. So how can you get more out of what you got? I feel like that's a coaching thing. And I mean, if you want to make a trade, fine. But we all know on this show that doesn't always fix stuff. And a new voice in the locker room. Okay, maybe it's the equivalent of having a new voice at the coaching spot. But either way, there needs to be some kind of fresh voice interjected into that group because they're just not motivated, it doesn't seem like. But I don't know. I just like when Mike tortures the media in the postgame. It makes me giggle. All right, what else do we have to get to? We are going to get to Is It a Bowl Game coming up. We got a couple more things to do before we do Big Shot and Is It a Bowl Game. You want to talk about the Juan Soto deal? You're like a halfway Mets fan.
Hey, and I was a Mets fan, and I'm like in and out. So, but what is it, $750? How much was it?
$765 million over 50.
It could be worth. It could be worth up to 800.
It can be worth up to 800. Let me give you.
Let's just say 800.
Okay, let me give you context on one thing that made me kind of like want to throw up in my mouth. The combined career salary earnings of both LeBron James and Tom Brady put together is $761.
Damn.
So he's making, on paper, $4 million more in a 15-year deal than the career combined salaries of LeBron and Tom Brady.
Wow, that's
Baseball
bananas.
pays, man. Baseball pays.
So as soon as I saw this deal, I called Candace. I'm like, aren't you mad now that we didn't make Christian play baseball?
For real. For
She was like,
real.
and then her response like, no, I'm just mad to marry a baseball player. I'm like,
Hey.
Wow.
Hey. I'm gonna start emailing
crazy.
Candace Soto in a few tomorrow.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. She started laughing. I said, oh, you found that funny? I said, okay, I'm so mad. I ain't married Selma Hayek, so what's your point?
And it got personal, and someone slept on the couch. Yeah.
No.
Let me tell you something, man. When Juan Soto, I thought for a while that he was going to end up re-signing with the Yankees, and I think they offered him $760 for like 15
Yeah,
years.
it was a difference of like $5 million or something. Yeah, it was.
So
it was minimal.
yeah, man. I don't really. This is amazing because baseball money is different. But the thing about baseball money is it takes you a lot longer to get it because unless you're an exceptional player, you don't know how long you'll be in the minor leagues because a lot of guys start off in the minors, or unless you're just the exceptional talent and you just make a major league roster, that's fine. But when
then you got to
get
play
to the
out your
majors,
rookie deal, and then you all that shit. Yeah, before you get into this.
It's this right here. Oh, this is different. Now he has an opt-out clause after year 5. He's not gonna see that full 15 years. Nobody ever does. It depends on how this Mets team looks. Now, a lot of that is contingent upon him.
It is, but I hate the Mets. Okay, I'm not, and we've talked about this. I'm not a Mets guy. The culture of the Mets locker room has not been good. It just hasn't been good. We've seen guys go to New York, struggle, suffer, say that they hate playing there, want out of town. What's different about this besides money? Because if he's got an opt-out after 5 years, I don't see a shot in hell that he wants to continue to play there unless they are completely crushing people and winning games and he re-energizes the team. But if you're going to go from the Yankees to the Mets over $5 million, this only says to me this is about money. This has nothing to do with anything else.
Well, also, Mets were pretty damn good last season. And
They were in the NLCS. Yeah.
I think he's probably looking at the Yankees losing some pitching and
The Yankees went to the World Series.
But you losing some pitchers though, and this team, the Mets, is going to be a better team.
But it's the paper. Yankees. You can't ever look at the Yankees and go, "Well, we're not going to have enough pitching." They'll spend your mother's paycheck. They don't care. They spend more money than any team on the planet.
Can I tell you what I think what the issue was?
What's that?
And I don't know if this is fully true, but there was a report that came out about it.
I saw this.
That
this was like
one of the reasons he did not,
episode, by the way.
One of the reasons why Soto probably didn't sign back with the Yankees is because of Yankee security not necessarily handling his family correctly.
Well, and it was more than his family. It was like his chef and his trainer or something. They wouldn't let them into certain areas of Yankee Stadium. And to me, that's a Seinfeld episode. That's George Costanza failing to let the guy in the right area and losing Juan Soto to the Mets.
To me, it becomes petty with athletes. Athletes now are getting to the point that says, I'm going to just see how far I can stretch this organization to see what they'll allow me to do. They should have a blanket thing across all organizations. Listen, this is the family room. This is where your family can go. Your kids can't come in the damn locker room unless we just won a world championship. And there's so many things that these athletes come and it says, oh, you going to let this guy come in and do this? Well, I'm going to try to do that +1. Oh, you let this guy do this +1? I'm doing +1, so I'm at +2. And it's the snowball effect that these athletes now know they control so much. So they be asking for the most ridiculous shit ever. Why does your chef need to be here? Why does your fucking trainer need to be here? No, I can understand if you got a guy that's stretching you on that, maybe. But your fucking chef? Really? It's getting ridiculous, man.
Well, who's going to make him his pregame salad at his locker if his chef isn't there?
The team?
Who's going to rub his feet before he goes on the field and assure him that he's doing a good job?
Got 15 trainers that can do that.
I don't know. I'm just saying.
That's the type of splitting hair decision. That's the type of splitting hair things that you make that you kind of consider when you're making a decision. I'm like, Bro, you went to the World Series with this team. You and Aaron Judge are the most, y'all would be the most feared hitting duo in all of baseball. And you decide, now I'm not saying that the Mets are bad. I ain't a Mets fan either. And that means we're going to, as the Braves, we're going to have to see the Mets plenty of times this season,
9 times.
being in the same division.
Yep.
So, look, those Met games at Truist Park are going to be packed. They're going to be
people
packed.
want to see Soto. I get it.
They want to see Soto.
Look, if you can get it, I'm not knocking the Mets for signing him. I'm not. I'm really not. It's very odd, though, for you to go from one New York team to the other.
Right.
That's really, like, I don't know how that's going to sit with fans. Because that guy was a Yankee 5 minutes ago. And Mets fans and Yankees fans do not tend to get along.
How long did he play for the Yankees? Like 2 seasons?
Oh, yeah.
A season?
Season
was
and a half?
2 seasons?
Yeah, it was
season
like
and
a
half?
season and a half, whatever the hell it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, not long. But he was still a Yankee.
It's not enough love there yet.
I guess. If Don Mattingly went to work for the Yankees or with the Mets, then yeah, okay, I get it.
But my thing is, if your decision came down to whatever disagreement, like it wasn't even that you had any problem with your teammates. You loved Aaron Judge. The report
was a
was you
security
absolutely
guard.
love Aaron
Yeah.
Judge. And the problem came down and the issue came down to the security guard.
Get out of here.
If that is the case, that is petty.
Yeah. But you think about them, Stanton, Judge, they still got a good lineup. So
They do. No, look, the Yankees are not a bad. Look, the Yankees are never going to be bad. Even when they are bad, they're not that bad because they spend so much money to be. Even when they're not hitting, they're still okay because they just can't be that bad. They can't be the Chicago White Sox. They spend too much money.
But Soto didn't have a good World Series anyway, right?
No, he really didn't. No.
Yeah, he kind of was like
Nobody on the Yankees had a good World Series.
But
Stanton hit a few key bombs, but that was really about it. I think Judge hit a couple, but that was all.
But Soto did have his best year of his career in that Yankee jersey.
I think that's right. Yeah.
He had like 40-something home runs.
You can't look at Soto and go, "Oh, he's not worth it." No, I mean, is anybody worth that kind of money? Let me spit it back to the NBA though. Because I want to ask you a question. There's one player in the NBA, your franchise, I don't care what team it is given a blank check. We'll pay whatever because he's the guy. Who do you want? You can go get whoever the hell you want in the NBA. You have an open check.
Like right now?
Right now. Who are you writing an open check for?
Jokic. Because I think, as much as just think about it, if Jokic had the love for basketball like a LeBron, how fucking good he would be. And I think right now you look around the league, and I do the eye test. He just plays fucking hard each and every night. He's gonna beat the shit out of everybody around you. He's gonna make crazy passes. So to me, him, and then probably second on that list would probably be Greek Freak, and because those guys play hard. I look at the effort. If you play hard each and every night when you the superstar, because you got guys that play hard each and every night, but they ain't the big dog, and they can use that energy when they don't have to use it on offense and on defensive end or vice versa. So I just think those two guys to me are I'll write them blank checks.
Harper.
Blank check. Oh, probably Wemby. I just think what we see right now from him is only scratching the surface of what he is going to be for years to come. Because remember, did he just turn 20 or is he still 19?
I think he's 20.
He's 20.
I think he's 20.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what is he going to look like at 25?
Yeah, the only thing I worry about him is his durability.
True.
Like he's just too freaking frail for me.
But so is
KD was like that. So
that's what I was just about to say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and he's a Hall of Famer.
Okay.
So KD is a lot shorter too, with less room for injury.
Okay, 7'5" or 7'1". My bad.
KD ain't no 7'1".
What is he?
He's 6'10".
KD ain't 7 feet tall. So you telling me
here's the
you
thing,
and KD
I'm going to look it up, and it's not going to be right because the internet's never right. The internet's never right.
So you and KD are eye to eye. Y'all the same height.
KD is an inch taller than me.
All right.
I have a hard time believing, and I've seen Katie. I have a hard time believing he's not 7 feet tall. I had a hard time believing that.
Come on, Google.
At least 7 feet.
It says 6'11". Google says 6'11". What are you, Rob? You're 6'9"?
I'm 6'9", 6'10" with shoes on.
Okay.
So if Durant's an inch taller than you, then that makes sense. 6'11".
Okay, fine.
But you're flirting with 7 feet. It's not like you're 6'2". You know what I mean?
What's an inch here or there, right?
Yeah, right. Write it on my tombstone,
we can make a
man.
joke there. We'll leave it alone.
We'll leave that one alone. Put it on my tombstone. What's an inch here or there? Also the name of this week's show when you see it. Now you know where it came from.
But yeah, but if it's not Wemby, I mean, he's the next guy. If he stays healthy and let's say he does put on a little weight. Come on now.
I'm still waiting. He ain't got enough seasons for me yet. You know, everybody looking at what can be, and I'm not looking. I'm looking at what you've done now.
What he's done now is great. Not
better than Jokic's Greek freak.
That's true, but they're older. They are older, and we've seen. I know how great Jokic is. We know how great Greek freak is. I was looking at it from the standpoint of who am I writing a blank check. You know, not only for now, but for the
gotcha.
For the future.
And there's different arguments that way. I had one of the same as Rob did. I said Giannis was on my list as far as a blank check, and my other one was Stephen Curry. Even though he's older, and I get it, but he's still Steph Curry.
Yeah. That's true.
And everything on that team specifically, and even in where they are now in this year and the way they're playing this year, that all runs through him. And you can just run that whole thing straight through him. And he continues to just make me shake my head about what you can and can't do the same thing as LeBron. What you can and can't do at the later stages of your NBA career, because he's been doing this for a long time and he's still exceptional. And he doesn't make a lot of mistakes, and he takes a lot of wild shots, but it's because he's known for it and he can do it.
He can make them.
There's occasionally he throws one up and I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? And it goes in and I'm like, oh, okay, I get it. Like anybody else, I'd be like, what the hell is it doing taking that shot? But those were the two on my list. So, all right, let's do Big Shot of the Week, and then we'll play Is It a Bowl Game? I'm actually dropping a topic from this week's show because I put it on here, and I don't even know if we want to talk about it. The old CEO of ESPN's James John Skipper seems to think that they're going to add Stephen A. Smith to Inside the NBA.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Now, he's speculating, but his point was, much like they do at Turner, you have to sort of have the B team as well for Inside the NBA, because you're not going to have Shaq, Kenny, and Chuck for every game. So you're going to have a B team. I promise you the B team will likely include Stephen A. Smith. So how long before he's an integral part of the B team that they start to try and push him on?
And I don't think he's going to like that concept of him being on the B team.
Right.
He won't be out there with the big dogs. Which
I'm saying. So how long of that is it before both ESPN and Stephen A. Smith try to go, look, if you're going to use me on this, I want a seat at the big desk.
No, but see, here's the problem with that. This is not something that was just put together. This is something that has been in the making. This is something that's been together for a long period of time. Don't mess with chemistry. Stephen A. Smith will start to do too much to try to...
ESPN doesn't care about that. ESPN does not care about the chemistry of that show. They care about making that show as much their own as they can. Now, I know that they're not going to have complete creative control over it, but they're going to have influence over how that show gets produced because they're going to be the ones distributing it.
Yeah, I get it, but
ESPN wants their brand on that show. I don't think it's going to work. I don't think it's going to work at all, because that show's not First Take. It doesn't have that pacing. It doesn't have that mentality, that approach. They are fun first. They are not opinion first. They are fun first. The minute you take an opinion first guy and you put him in that group, it's not going to work. But I have a feeling ESPN is going to try and get their fingers into that show, and I don't know. I don't know how I'm going to like it. All right, let's do Big Shot of the Week real quick, and then we're going to play Is It a Bowl Game? And I don't think you guys are going to do good at this. Big Shot of the Week's going to go to a guy named Andy Pujol, and here's why. Andy's the founder of Building Homes for Heroes, a nonprofit organization that builds and gives away mortgage-free homes to injured veterans, first responders, and their families. This week, that organization, Building Homes for Heroes, gave away their 400th mortgage-free home to an Army veteran named Joshua Sager. 400 mortgage-free homes to vets and injured first responders. That is big shot of the year for me. That is unfreaking believable. The fact that this guy does this for people. Amazing.
Yeah, that's
amazing.
Mortgage free.
Yeah,
That's incredible, man. Do you think about it? It's like vets, mortgage free. Can't get no better than that because sometimes, man, we treat our vets like
not good. Not good. Everybody that's ever had an experience with the VA says it's miserable.
It's not good.
I hate
it's
that.
like for me, every time I think of vets, they should, vets, they shouldn't be, taxes should be taken out. They should, it's everything they do should be pretty much free, to a point. And it's just like, I'm gonna stop right there.
Yeah, that's
That's a fact.
You're not
Anytime
wrong.
you have people to go defend your country in any way, shape, form, or fashion, bro, you got people laying their life down on the line. They have families. They have people who actually love and care about them. And when they come home, it's a blessing that they come home because not everybody does. And I also think I'm a firm believer that if you have somebody that's in the armed forces and unfortunately they don't come home, you need to take care of their families in every single way you possibly can because that family member laid down their life for this country. Their country owes them.
So true.
Absolutely, 100%. Agree with both of you entirely, which is why the work that Albert does is that much more important because holy cow. Like you said, it's a blessing they come home, but they don't always come home in the best shape. And that's something else that we, missing limbs, handicaps, mental trauma.
PTSD.
There's a lot. And the fact that this man does this for these people is next level. Yeah. So big shot of the week for sure.
The PTSD is the hard part because I know when I did the USO tour, one of the guys that was our security, he says he don't even go home anymore because on 4th of July, the fireworks make him start sweating, goes banana. It's just crazy how we don't think about the little things like that post-traumatic stress that they have. It's a thing. And so I feel so bad for those guys who have to go through all that.
Like both of you said, all the more reason to take care of them.
Mm-hmm.
All right, here we go. Ready?
Yes, sir.
I am going to give you a bowl game. You just got to tell me, is that a bowl game? We'll see how many of these you guys get right. I have 25. Let's see how you do. The Cricket Celebration Bowl.
Oh, yeah, that's a bowl.
No, that's not a bowl.
Oh, point to Harper. That is a bowl game.
Yeah, that's the HBCU Bowl.
Jackson State and South Carolina State.
Yeah.
Okay.
South Carolina State, my cousin went there. He went on to play for the Breakers in Seattle.
Well, there you go. Mm-hmm. The IS4S Salute to Veterans Bowl.
We just talked about that, so I'm going to say yes, that's a bowl.
The IS4S Salute to Veterans Bowl? Sure, I guess so.
It is a bowl game. South Alabama versus Western Michigan. Good job.
Okay.
The Hooters MILF Bowl.
Nah, that ain't no bowl.
I'm going to say yes, that's a bowl just for the hell of it.
No, it's not a bowl game. What are you talking about?
No, it's not a bowl game.
They ain't going to put that milk part in there.
I'm trying to throw you an early bone there on that one, so to speak. Hey, now, pause. All right. The Art of Sport LA Bowl hosted by Gronk.
That's a bowl.
That's a bowl because they asked me to do something in that one.
It is a bowl. Cal versus UNLV. The Art of Sport LA Bowl hosted by Gronk. What?
Yeah.
Okay. Gronk got his name in a bowl game. Good job. The Myrtle Beach Bowl.
That's out here in California. It's in Inglewood. I think it's at SoFi.
Okay. Well, there you go. Mm-hmm. The Myrtle Beach Bowl.
That's a bowl.
Harp says no. It is a bowl game. It is Coastal Carolina versus UTSA. It is a bowl game.
Okay.
Okay. The Celestial Seasonings Cinnamon Angels Bowl.
What?
The Celestial Seasonings Cinnamon Angels Bowl.
No.
I say no.
Oh, very good for both of you. No, that's a fake bowl. All right. The Campbell's Tomato Soup Tupperware Bowl.
I thought I heard a Campbell Soup Bowl. So I'm gonna say yes. But Tupperware Bowl. Yes, I'm gonna go with Tupperware Bowl. Yes.
It sounds believable. I'm gonna say yeah.
No, that's fake. I made that up. I made that up. All right. The Game Above Sports Bowl.
Game Above? I'm gonna say no. No. I'm gonna say yes. I'm gonna say yes. Because that sounds like something. Yes, I'm gonna say yes.
I'm gonna say yes.
You're both right. It is real. Pitt versus Toledo. The Game Above Sports Bowl. The Baked Bean Bowl, presented by Bush's Baked Beans.
That is a
Roll that beautiful bean.
Roll that beautiful bean footage.
no.
I'm
No.
gonna say yes.
Oh, point to Harp. That's fake. There's no Baked Bean Bowl. The Penguin Books USA Cocoa Bowl.
I'm watching the Penguin right now, so I'm gonna say he just said something about it, so I'm gonna say no.
Penguin Books is a publishing company. Thank you. It's not a Batman villain.
I'm gonna say yeah.
All right. No, it's not real. I made that one up too. All right. The 68 Ventures Bowl.
Yes.
No.
That is real. That's Arkansas State and Bowling Green. The Mr. Clean Bowl.
That's a bowl.
That actually makes a lot of sense. The Mr. Clean Bowl. I'm gonna say yeah.
No, I made that up too.
It should be a bowl.
The sad part is, no matter how stupid it is, it's believable.
Yes.
All right.
but
ready?
it makes sense.
It does. The DirecTV Holiday Bowl.
That's a
yes.
Oh, yeah, you're both right there. That's Syracuse and Washington State. Good job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Kraft Singles Cheese Bowl.
Yes.
bowl. Yes.
No, it's the Cheez-Its. I think it's by
Cheez-Its Bowl.
Yeah,
The
okay,
Kraft
my
Singles
bad.
Cheese Bowl does not exist. No.
Oh, so it's the cheeses. I'm agreed. That's because I saw that the other day. I'm like, Jesus.
Okay.
Because what they do is
Because
at the end of the game on the winner, they just drop a bunch of Cheez-Its on
Yeah.
like the coach. Yeah.
They do.
Yeah, because my mom loves cheeses, and I bought some for her, and I saw that the other day, so I was gonna say cheese.
The SRS Distribution Las Vegas Bowl.
I'm gonna say no. That's too long. that title's too long.
I'm gonna say yes.
Yeah, I thought Rob was going to get that one because USC's playing in it against
They're
Texas
playing
A&M.
Texas A&M.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
game. The SRS Distribution Las Vegas Bowl. That's
Cameron and Candace got a bet on that game.
That's
so yeah.
something. All right, the Wasabi Fenway Bowl.
Wasabi.
The
I'm saying no.
Wasabi Fenway Bowl.
Harp, you
No.
all right over there?
All right, everybody
I was
say.
thinking.
No, I was trying to get to it. I didn't know if I thought maybe he froze. It was just his brain did. No, it's a real bowl. It's a real. It's UConn versus North Carolina. They're played at Fenway Park. The Wasabi Fenway Bowl. The Country Music Hall of Fame Corn Bowl.
Hell no.
Nah.
Good for both of you. Yeah, no, I made that up. Nice job. This one I'm gonna throw it out. You better get it right. The Pop Tarts Bowl.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the one Miami's playing in the freaking Pop Tarts Bowl. The Snoop Dogg Arizona Bowl, presented by Gin and Juice by Dre and Snoop.
I wish that was a bowl. I don't think so.
That is a bowl because
It
Snoop was just talking about is Colorado State playing Miami.
No, Miami's in the Pop-Tart Bowl.
Miami, Ohio.
Oh.
That was Miami.
Rob's 100% correct. He knew the matchup and everything. It is a real bowl. Miami
Is
of
that-
Ohio and Colorado State will face each other in the Snoop Dogg Arizona Bowl, presented by Gin and Juice by Dre and Snoop.
Is that a new
Tucson?
bowl?
Tucson, Arizona?
The
Come on.
Arizona Bowl is not a new bowl. No, the Arizona Bowl has been around, but the sponsorship is beyond stupid. The dumbest shit I ever heard in my life.
Shout out to Snoop, boy. Snoop don't.
Hey,
he don't
he on
miss
everything.
A check. He don't miss a check, boy.
He's like Texas Pete. He puts that shit on everything.
Yep.
All right, a few more. The Walmart Neighborhood Market Chicken Nugget Bowl.
Walmart. Walmart got a bowl. Somebody say yes. 'Cause they got too much money not to have a bowl.
I'm trying to figure out, is that the name of it, though? I'm going to say no.
Point to Brandon Harper. It is not a bowl.
Damn it.
It's not a bowl. The Chicken Nugget Bowl, though, I'd play in that game. The Go Bowling Military Bowl.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're both right. Good job. That's East Carolina versus NC State. The Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl.
Yes.
I think I've heard of that before. Yeah.
You're both right. Louisville versus Washington in the Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl. All right, two more. The Durex Tough Bowl.
No.
I'm gonna say no. Just don't say. Just looking at your face, I gotta say no.
No, yeah, unfortunately, Durex, the condom, did not get a bowl sponsorship. No, they did not. Durex is a condom company, by the way.
Yeah, we know.
I know that.
And the Serve Pro First Responders Bowl.
Yes.
It's yes.
Yeah, that's North Texas versus Texas State. All right, so you guys just tell me when we're all flying out to the Hooters MILF Bowl, and I'm down. Let's go.
Hey,
I want to go to the Gin and Juice Bowl.
hey, I thought you two were going to the Bad Boy Moore's
The Pinstripe Bowl? No, hard pass, thank you.